Welcome to another episode of Anything Goes James English Show. And today's guest, we've got the lovely Brad Welsh. How are we, brother?
Very good, James. Very nice to meet you and welcome to our beautiful city of Edinburgh.
Thanks for having me, mate.
It's okay, mate.
Like I say, I don't sit with any questions, Brad, so it's a case of we just roll with it. Obviously, a bit of your background. You grew up in a tough housing scheme. Turned boxing you turned boxing for what, 7, 8?
7-year-old, yeah. Aye. To channel my energies.
You became Edinburgh casual, started your own stuff, kind of stuff with Edinburgh stuff, and then in and out prison a couple of times, but the stuff that you're doing now, I think is phenomenal. All the stuff with the kids, people come to your boxing gym. I think it's brilliant what you're doing to make changes in other people's life.
Yeah.
So we'll go right back to the start, Brad, where it all started for you, where you kind of grew up and where it kind of led you in life.
Well, I think, James, that my story can be related to with many people will be watching your podcast, yeah? We're all young laddies for the street, James, aren't we? I mean, that's going back 35, 40 years ago, that's where we were brought up, housing schemes. You know, it was like Edinburgh and Glasgow had city centres, but the vast majority of people were born in housing schemes, weren't they? And back then, they were good places, were places full of community. You know, so I'm thankful that I was brought up there. And it did shape me, and I suppose, James, that we all are, everybody are the people we are because of our past experiences, aren't we? So being brought up in that housing scheme, yeah, it did shape me and stuff like that. It was an area in Edinburgh called Morden, and it's on the south of Edinburgh. It's next to Craigmillar and Liddrain. These were areas that were, they had the house boom after the war and stuff like that. There were be shabby prefabs that were built, yeah. So I was born there to my mum, Patricia, and my father, Tony, and I had a brother, Sean, yeah. So we were brought up there at the age of 7-year-old. It's just basically the time that I can remember being there, yeah. For some reason, I don't know if it's because of all the punches to the head, James. As a boxer, I can't even remember past that. But at 7-year-old, they were my sort of formation years, being brought up and got involved in boxing for yeah. Morden still to this day. It's a very, very rough place. Socially and economically alienated because of where it is. I mean, there's no frontline service there. I'm quite proud that I've already came full circle, that I'm actually back in that area now. And I'm actually providing services for that, you know, for the kids and stuff, yeah.
I think it's brilliant. And what age did you start getting into boxing, Brad?
At 7-year-old, my brother, Sean, he took me to Meadowbank Stadium. And he actually took me to karate because he went to karate. My mum was very keen to get me involved. At that time, at 7-year-old, my parents' relationship had dismantled, yeah. And my mum basically kicked my dad out, so I was brought up by a single parent, my mum. And she thought it'd be a good way for my energy. I've always been full of energy, James. So she wanted to get me into boxing. So at 7-year-old, I went to Meadowbank Stadium.
So, obviously the boxing, you kind of learn how to handle yourself. I watched a few of your videos. I think you were only 9, 10 punching the bag about. You were unbelievable then, Brad. You had a great talent.
I don't know about that. I think as a young kid, young kids that take up sport, they often show good talent, yeah. They often show, you know, a natural sort of ability to play sport, yeah. I just think boxing was something that I focused on, and I did like hitting things, yeah. And I suppose I was a part of that. No, looking back now, at the age of 7-year-old, you never rationalise that you were doing that for a reason. But there's no doubt about that in my adulthood, looking back, James, that I used boxing, even at 7-year-old, as a vehicle to channel my energies and not to think about maybe what was going on in family life. Yeah.
Aye, because like I say, when you're brought up in that environment, it can be tough. We can channel that through whether it's sitting in a room or whether it's violence, because we feel a wee bit more important.
Well, of course, yeah, and that's it. There's no doubt about that. Playing sport, and it's the reason why I use it now as a medium to engage with kids. Is it because you get endorphins from it, you're focused on it, you know? So, and yeah, I suppose, but back then again, it's a different epoch of time, wasn't it? You've got to remember that the communities back then, even though they were very community-led, there was nothing in them.
Because you're very well respected in Edinburgh. Like I say, we've all done wrong in life, including myself, but we're trying to rectify that now with doing good things. When you started getting into like the fights and you realised you could handle yourself, because I think you said you had 200-300 fights by the time you were 12 or 13?
I had about 200 fights by the time I was about 13, yeah. And that was because back then boxing was a flourishing sport, and it was only one of the mediums that, you know, people could have. You either played football or you boxed, or you played music, or you listened to music. So, you know, the sport was very, very well attended, and you'd have maybe 2 or 3 contests a week. You could. You know, you go to championships, you'd box 6 or 7 times. So I used boxing as a vehicle, and it's only now, I didn't realise it then, but I did. It was the way that I showed my self-esteem, yeah. And all young kids selling in the ghettos and the areas, yeah, will thrive to try and express their self-esteem. Some do it through their music, some do it through their clothing. I done it through with my hands, pal.
Do you think if you never had the boxing, your life would be totally different from where you are now?
Most definitely, but that's great in hindsight, isn't it? Because normally it's the Ali Graziano story, we call it, that boxing saved a young kid for going down the wrong path. Well, I'm a little bit different for that because I did have boxing right up to the age of 16, 17, but at the same time, James, I was living a dual life, yeah, because I was a young kid being brought up in Wales, and I realise now that through the media, I mean, me being very good at boxing as a young kid, yeah, just to clarify, because I wasn't that good later on, but I was a wee child sort of prodigy. I was that good when I was younger and winning everything and stuff, and that created a self-esteem in me, which then I transferred into the environment that I was in. Yeah, nobody being a bully, because I can quite categorically say that I've never been that, and anybody that knows me knows that, yeah. But at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, well, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, through my schooling and into my teenage years, I developed a reputation on the streets of Edinburgh as being involved in sort of gang culture.
But like I say, the gang kind of culture is for a wee bit of acceptance as well, because you feel as if your pals kind of love you, and if there's a broken home or you're not feeling getting that love inside the house, it's easy to get in the gang culture where you feel accepted when you're doing daft shit, you all laugh and joke. We all know when we mention Hibs, your name's associated with Hibs, Brad Welsh, you know that yourself.
Well, that,
How did you get into that
I think
scene?
when you were talking about that, this is not just unique to the city of Edinburgh. For the first time since the mod generation, you know, in the 70s and stuff, you had like a new gang culture, didn't you? You had a new expose UK culture, which was the casual scene, yeah? You called it the casual scene. And that was just basically groups of young kids getting behind a new movement. And the movement was fashion-led, and it was sport-led, because youngsters at that age, what other outlets did they have to go and have entertainment? You went to the football. Right? And that was always been trouble at football matches. But this new expose of, should I say, culture became around a casual scene, yeah. And I was just there at that time. I wasn't the leader behind it. I wasn't the person that made it. This just evolved, yeah. It evolved not just in Edinburgh, but Glasgow, Aberdeen, Dundee, all over. There's this new casual culture, which I was quite fortunate actually, James. I'll say that. I'm quite proud to say that. I've actually had the experiences of being a young boy being brought up with something that's real, as opposed to young kids today who are all about social media and there's no life experiences there for them. We were brought up in a generation in the 80s, early 80s, where you go to football with your mates, living, yeah. I mean, remember, this was born out of frustration, born out of Thatcher society. You know, when you lived brought up in the ghettos and there was fuck all there. What did you do? Dress yourself up in nice clothes and go and belong with your pals and have a laugh. But for the first time ever, and as you'll appreciate being a man from Glasgow, there's always been gang culture. Always.
Oh, and I think it'll always be there to the day we die.
But for the first time ever, what you had in Scotland is you had a unique set of circumstances where gang culture now became an international thing. So you now had city versus city. And that's really what's quite unique about it. I mean, I'm not proud of the levels of violence and stuff I was on. I mean, as you probably know from me now, James, that, you know, I'm anti-violence. You know, I'm a poacher turned gamekeeper, and that's what I preach to all the kids and stuff. But I also realise that the person I am is made through the experiences that I've had. So I've no problem with going back and thinking about that and looking at it objectively now. So again, back to that, I got behind. I was always a boxer, and that's what I done, winning championships and titles and stuff as a very young kid. And then I got involved with my brother. We going to football, but I was one of the younger ones. I was only like 13 years old. But I would take the stuff that I'd learned in gymnasiums and I'd use that on front lines. Yeah. So I built up a bit of reputation around Scotland with people with different more, because again, it wasn't just teams, it was now city versus city. So for Aberdeen, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Dundee, everybody knew who everybody was, yeah. You were the main players for.
Because I know you've got a big association with Hibs, but again, you weren't in that culture very long either, were you?
No, I wasn't actually. That's the thing about it. I was 13-year-old stuff when I went into it, and again, they were great times, because you're remembering back, James, to a period of time that was carefree. And what, you know, and fair enough, what that involved was, if you look back as an adult, quite stupid. Groups of your pals having gang violence, basically. But it wasn't just about that. It was the commandership and travelling to other cities and one-upmanship, you know, wearing the best clothes and stuff. But for me, when I was I had three lines. I had a boxing line that I was trying to still do. I had this new casual culture, but then also got involved in criminality as well, James. Yeah? Because, and looking back now and again, as with hindsight, I'm very aware of that. You know, it'd be people that write books and stuff like that and talk about their past. You know, you date with the brain you've got now. So, and that's the only way that I can do it. And looking back now, I can not justify it, but I can explain it. That I was a young laddie for the girls, and we didn't have much, pal. So predaciousness was something that was bred into me, because everybody else had stuff, and we never.
Aye.
And then what that breeds is, when you're a young kid, you go off track. And the father figure there, my brother, was basically my father, yeah. And he was involved in that as well. So it was a natural progression to go and do that. But I also started criminality, James. I started organising our young groups and stuff like that, and then, like, I'm not proud to say it, but like taxing people and stuff like that when I was really young at 13. Totally wrong. I'm embarrassed about that, you know what I mean? But it's partly who I was. And then we went on to obviously organise stuff with smash and grabs and, stuff like that. Yeah.
But again, like I say, everything we've got to thank the past, no matter how fucked
I do.
up it is. And like I say, you're prime example of what you're achieving now. And we can get embarrassed and we can talk about it and go, maybe. But again, that's what leads us to be the men we are today, to helping other people to do what we do. And it's no people who don't understand it, growing up in a housing scheme, growing up with a single mum, realise how fucking hard it is. And when you've got a path, sometimes we've got to go down that path to make us the person who we are today. So, like I say, I take my hat off to you, mate, because we spoke about before this, and you're a visionary, and your plans and ideas are massive.
I'm not embarrassed to go over the stuff I do. You know, I can deal with that on my soul now. You know, I've got a daughter and stuff like that, and I'm not even, you know, people have came to me and said write books and stuff like that, and I couldn't have done that because I didn't want to talk about stuff like that. There I go, but I do understand that it's a part of who I am, as you said. But you know, the natural progression for that is when you get onto that kind of path. I'm happy to talk about it, and I'm happy to talk about it under certain circumstances right now, James, which you might not be aware of, and the public might not be aware of. But I'm currently in a huge fight with a massive media company called Bauer Media,
Right.
over in their Cash for Kids thing, and I've been fighting for about the last 3 months from along with another group. And this is the kind of stuff that they would like me to talk about, so that they can try and shine a light on me and say, that's what he is, don't listen to him. But I'm doing that because today I'm speaking about it because I trust you, James, yeah? And I trust the people to actually look beyond that and see that that's who I was and this is who I am now. And for a long time in Edinburgh, James, it's been 20 odd years now, I've been doing nothing but good, pal. 25 years. But a lot of people didn't want you to shed that, James, did they? They didn't want you to still want you to be, he's this, that. People didn't even know me, mate. And all my life I've been blighted with Brad Welsh. Because I was a young boy that was predacious and did get involved in some serious crime. But that is, again, it gives me the ability, unlike other people, to be able to tell kids and to show kids that's not the path to go down. And that's what I've been successful with over the last year, because people will listen to me. Well, listen to what I've got to say because I've experienced that. I'm not a preacher. I'm not like you, James, as well, what you've said.
Aye.
You know, they said that we're both similar. We don't preach to people, but we do show a different way, yeah? And that's what I've done, and I'll continue to do that. Whether people want to view me in some way or another way, I don't give a fuck about that.
Aye. But a lot of people who watch, like I say, they'll take a lot of what you're saying, because a lot of people maybe watch a couple of films as well and they go, oh, that's their life and that's what I want to be. We spoke about it. Life of crime or anything you do, you've got two options: dead or in the jail. That's it. That is it.
100%, and that brings us there. So this 3 tracks I had, I was boxing at international level, travelling the world at 14, 15, 16-year-old. And I was obviously going out with pals. I was involved in international gang warfare, basically. You know, I was affiliated with an organisation called the Capital City Service, the Young Laddies for Edinburgh. They were very close to that, very tight. And we travelled around the country, travelled over to Europe, and it was great times and stuff like that. With that mindset, looking back now, pretty silly thing to do. I wouldn't ask anybody or advise anybody to do it, but it was just us growing up. But then I sort of, at the same time, jumped into the criminality side of things, and that was a path that I wish I'd never went down, in hindsight. But it certainly, again, led me, as you say, to here now. That involved James getting involved in quite serious crime, probably, which then into 16, 17, 18, the club scene came around. And a lot of people remember that this is 1988. And you had the dance scene hitting Edinburgh, hitting over the UK and other expose, and that destroyed the casual culture. Casual culture was there, and it was about one-upmanship, commandership, but then once the sentences started coming in, people were getting jailed for it, you know. It's like it cut in the middle, and also at the same time it happened that the dance scene came along. Yeah. And that led me into that as well. I was quite well known in Edinburgh, and I had a sharp wee brain and stuff like that. And, do you know what I mean? Looking back, I mean, as you say, I'm embarrassed with some of the stuff that they've done. I mean, it was just pure downright, you know, predaciousness. Horrible. You know,
Of course it happens, but like I say, we all make mistakes and we all go down that path. But for anybody, what I don't agree with is anybody to throw something in somebody's face that's trying to change their life, because that for me is a coward. That for me is a shite bag. That for me is a criminal.
But that's what these big organisations do. They didn't deal with the facts you're bringing up. What they do is they try and diversify it and just polarise you to say that's who he is, yeah? Then they listen to him, you know what I mean? I'm used to doing that.
But I think a lot more people know you and know who you are as a character. So for that, people reading whatever they see in black and white, it's not going to stick for them, because they know that who you are as a character and what you're actually doing in the streets. Like I say, we've spoke about homelessness as well, and the stuff you do for the boys. It's brilliant, because there's not a lot of people change, Brad. A lot of actions speak louder than words as well. A lot of people talk the talk, but they don't fucking walk it, which is difficult.
And that leads us to where exactly along that timeline. So at 17, 18, I was involved in clubs and protection rackets and firearms and extortion and stuff, yeah. And I'm not proud of that, of course I'm not. But that period of time, that was what it was. And again, it boils to that predacious nature. So I'm a wee bit different from the Ale Graziano story, where young boy goes down the wrong path and then turns, you know, keeps him off the right path. I was on the right path and then fell off it. And it was through boxing that I brought me back on it. So I ended up again, we'll just get rid of the criminality stuff. And end up, getting, it's quite a serious charge, high court trials and stuff like that. Moved into the club scene, shut everybody down, opened up my own places. As a young boy, I was only 18-year-old. And I probably got away with that in Edinburgh.
So young, did you have anybody above you? Did you have anybody guiding you? Or was it?
No.
Because it's such a young age to be running organisations like the ones you're talking about.
Of course, there was people that were partners and stuff that way. But I mean, you've got to remember that when the dance scene came along, you're talking in the city of Edinburgh, there was only 400 people that had caught onto the beat yet. This is 1987, 88. And there was only like one club in Edinburgh called LaBelle and Jill, yeah? So, and that was the only club in Edinburgh. So, and I was versed into it. And naturally, the people that were involved in the casual scene, James, they were there like be illuminators, to be trendsetters and stuff like that. That's how it started. So that'd be young people that created this new movement, yeah? And when they first started it, while everybody else is walking about wearing their like Y cards and stuff like that, the boys were like getting dressed up, stuff like that, the best gear, bleached jeans, stuff, the best trainers, And again, that thing there, James, I always thought with that when the casual movement first came about, it was about self-esteem. What the protagonists that were involved in it was about, because it's a gesture, isn't it? Look at me, what I'm wearing. I'm better than you.
It's a mask.
That's right. Well, and for me, what attracted me in football wasn't really so much that, but was the use of violence. Yeah, because I was a wee boxer, and I was a wee thing, and I was predacious. There's no doubt about that,
Because that obviously made you feel important as well, because people wanted you in their circle.
100%.
And think, obviously, when you had that talent as well, that's why it's such Scotland's like Edinburgh, Glasgow. It's tough because when you've got a talent, people leech onto it. But as soon as that talent goes, you're fucking there yourself and nobody cares. It's hard to. There's no any role models to look up to in Glasgow, Edinburgh, because all these football players and all these people are doing well. They kind of going off a right path, whether it's drink, drugs, gambling. They kind of struggling themselves. It's hard for anybody to really find a role model to really look at and say model image them and become them. It's difficult.
I think sport plays.
Aye. So when you're obviously did the boxing scene, was there a time you felt like? Was people trying to pull you aside as well? Were you easy led, or we just made your own mind up that?
It's me that done it, James.
Aye.
Anybody else.
Go take full responsibility in your actions, didn't you?
Me, I was never led by anybody, pal. The decisions that I made at that time were, again, born through predaciousness, pal. It's I've no goat and I'm taking that. And that, there's no doubt about that. I went through a high court trial where I could end up with 15 years, I ended up getting 4 years for an extortion. Yeah.
What age was that?
I was 18. Just turned 18, yeah. So it could have been 10, 15 years. The minute I hit that prison cell, pal, this is the truth. Yeah, and I'm not shy to say it or ashamed to say it. I knew it wasn't for me, mate. And I'm no big thing. I was a wee guy skirting about with a sharp brain, making things happen. The biggest, hardest guy in Edinburgh and stuff like that. But I had a sharp brain, mate, how to connect things together and how to make things happen. With the biggest security company in Edinburgh, I had 3 of the best nights in Edinburgh, making fortunes of money. But already at that age, it just happened so quick, pal, that I realised that money wasn't for me, pal. Or even back then in 1987, 88, I knew that money wasn't for me. It never interested me, pal. What did it buy you? No, it didn't buy you nothing. Didn't mean anything to me. I had my wee mum and stuff like that, my brother. That was it. I had my pals. And so the second I hit that soaked in prison, pal, I was like, what the fuck, mate? You know what I mean? This is no place to be. What I've jeopardised doing, and that was, it was a lot of things. It was a huge big trial, pal, which could have went wrong, but never, thankfully, touch wood, it went right. And so I eventually I think what the charge was extortion for estate agents. So, and that I went to day 4 years in prison, pal. So, and I just knew from the second I was in there that I had to get out of there. And the way to do that was to get back on. And the only thing that I knew was right was my boxing.
Because you said you'd done a lot of reading in there, educated yourself.
But it was sport as well, and just away and just looking back and realising that crime isn't the way to do things, pal. I mean, it's now again I say that thinking back, and there's many young kids. I'm not a preacher, pal. There's many young kids and friends that I've got that are involved in a criminal life. A very high order criminal life, they're getting huge sentences, 15 and 20 years. For the last 25 years here, James, I've been nothing but just a gamekeeper, pal, to say to people it's not the way to go. And I have preached that, but I've never done it hugely. I didn't go and shout, I'm not a preacher. Yeah, so.
It's not necessarily that we're doing is right either, but it feels right for us, Brad.
It feels right
Do you know what I mean? We're doing the right things, and myself being for Glasgow, you can't preach. It's everybody's own journey. We've found a wee bit of light where we can go. Right, we've found a lane where we feel good. We're doing good, and everybody benefits. We're not talking for books. We're talking for experience. We're talking about we've seen the life of misery. We're talking for dark fucking places. We're talking for your Markham not visiting in jail. We're talking about them greeting and worried sick about you, but yet we portray it and jump about with the boys who don't really give a fuck about us anyway. Do you know what I mean?
That's more pertinent now in this day and age because it's moved forward 2 generations now, and the kind of sentences you're getting are not 4 years. The boys now are coming from the areas of Edinburgh, yes, without naming any names, they're in their 15s and 20s, pal, for stuff they're doing. massive drug culture, firearms, very prevalent in Edinburgh, you know, or in Scotland, and that seems to be the new game. And these are, as we spoke earlier, James, these are young boys, 18, 19-year-old now, that are international criminals, that are dealing in 4 and 5 days, Spain to Argentina to, you know, over Europe, Amsterdam, you know, they're not just dealing in Postle Park, Paul. You know, the lads for Postle are all everywhere over there. I'll just say that because I know you're from there, yeah? It's like, so it's a different game, so it's hard to preach to a young guy. And also, something worth touching on now, you know, I'm not a social saviour, pal, you know what I mean? I'm not like trying to say only just trying to do my wee bit, which I do through which will come to. But the kids that are there now that are not, have they got any choices like that now? Because what I see in the communities in Edinburgh, which I'm sure can be, you know, transported to Glasgow, to Aberdeen, Dundee, is that there's no opportunities for kids now. You know, if when you're socially and economically excluded for taking part and stuff in your own community, unless you've got money. You know, the community centres don't have any services that are free, basically now. You've got to go in and buy your judo or your thing and stuff like that. Everything costs money. So there's no community groups. The councils now have had the heart ripped out of them, you know, funding. So they're not putting much on and stuff like that. So would anybody in society now, you know, not expect that kids coming from these communities are going to get involved in crime?
So when you come out after your sentence, because
when I was in the sentence, I actually used boxing to actually get out. What I done was I started boxing again, and then while I was in there, I actually
had a fight for a title fight.
I got released. Actually, I'm laughing back at it now. I got took at a prison van and taken away to the Glasgow, actually, to the Marriott Hotel.
In cuffs?
No, in cuffs, but in a prison van. Dropped off, boxed, won the Western District Championships, and taken back again. Then I got taken out 2 nights later to go and box for Italy, Scotland, Italy, for old Alec Morrison, Glasgow. A great guy.
Shout out Morrison,
Alec Morrison, who was my mentor, yes, a great guy, old Alec, and he got taken out in a box against Italy and knocked out the Italian champion in the second round as well. Then 12 weeks after being released from prison, I fought for the British title as an amateur. So I just trained in there. I was just manic trainer, as I always did. And
so I stay focused in there though?
Well, it was difficult for a wee guy for Edinburgh like that, and having all your big bad questions, trying to say, Brad Welsh, you're getting it. Still here.
Telling your story.
Still here, no. So, no, that was good. It was educational prison, but we're making light of it for anybody watching us. Prison's no place to be, mate. Big bad boys in there. With big serious time, you know what I mean? And the boys that are in there, then that's their, you know, they're not greeting about it. They're not greeting about it. Maybe worthwhile saying, James, that what I see in the communities in Edinburgh and the kids that are doing that 18, 19, doing huge prison sentences, just my opinion. You know, because I'm close to the ground, I work in these communities. I work with young kids from 6-year-old up to fucking 16-year-old. And at gymnasiums, I'm constantly working with people with trying to use boxing as a medium to get them in and get them fit. Because if they're fit and they're healthy, their brains are working and the chemical balance there, they're not taking drugs, they're not getting involved in crime. But it doesn't just work like that, pal. You've got to get kids when they're young. You know what I mean? But again, back to what I was saying, the boys are out there that are doing this, pal, these young lads that are in there, and I know 7 have got good pals that are in there doing heavy sentences, and I know of many others, the brightest young guys you've ever met in your life. These guys would be, if they went to university, would be running multinational companies. In fact, they do run multinational companies, because different facets of operations that they're doing are multinational now. And it's like, it's such a shame that that's been the pathway for a lot of our brightest young guys, good people, and demo who are forced together to then use the law of the jungle. And the law of the jungle is violence. You only win with violence in that. Nobody just being smart. Because the smartest guy sitting there now isn't the guy that's winning now. It's the guy that's the most violent.
Correct? That's where they get the reputation though.
Well, exactly.
And that's where you can get power. And that's the rank thing. But like I say, a lot of these tough men who think they're tough, as soon as they get fucking, that cell door gets shut, a lot of them get addicted to the brown, the white, or whatever it is in there. So, because they can't handle it. So everything is mentally, and like I said, 90% of the people in the jail are dabbling on something, which is tough as well, because these are good men. Again, I believe everybody's got goodness in them, everybody's got greatness in them, but it's to channel that. We've been lucky enough to go, right, wait a minute, I was in the drug scene, gambling scene, I was in everything. But for me, I was escaping. I was running away for these in here. I didn't know who I was, because I put this persona on for so fucking long that it was just on act. So eventually I didn't know who I was. So you're like an onion, you just wrap yourself around in so many layers that you forget who you are. And then luckily enough, I found a lane that I love, I enjoy, and I can do good things for it. Listen, I'm not a fucking saint. I make mistakes every day, and there's things I still do and I'm not proud of, but we're human beings. We're going to make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? That's just part and parcel of life. So for all, when you came out the jail, started the boxing.
I used boxing when I came out on the British title, and then from there I went on an international. It was quite good again. I'd been putting a lot of energy. Let's be clear. When I was 16, 17, 18, I was running on 3 tracks: criminality track, boxing track, and the casual scene, yeah?
Try to juggle it all.
Juggling it all, pal. No good, 30% in each of them, yeah? And So I do wish, I do regret with the boxing because I never really tested myself, pal. When I won the British title, I was the best I was at and I was decent. But then I was coming out dealing with all these demons, pal. I was coming out dealing with being in a small goldfish bowl in Edinburgh, Bradley Welsh, Bradley Welsh, Bradley Welsh. So what I've done, James, is I travelled the world for about 8 months, boxing in international competitions, Canada, Turkey, Italy, all over the world, yeah, as an international boxer. And it was like when I was going to turn pro or no. And I should have went to the Commonwealth Games. I went to the pre-Commonwealth Games in Canada. And this was in 2004, James, yeah? In 1994, sorry, I just was 10 years there. In 1994. And I went there and I basically watched the style of boxing and it just never suited me. I was stuck in Edinburgh, I was training, I was travelling through to Alec Morrison's every day, kind of going through and even before I turned pro. And then I made a mistake. I made the mistake of turning professional, pal. I should never have done it. Now, just to be clear, I was a young, good amateur boxer, British champion, was very good. And it wasn't like I was involved in anything else. So just I believe that mentally I was in the wrong place to be in Edinburgh. I was trying to get dragged that way. I had no financial income coming in. And I went and turned professional. And I basically boxed 7 times with Alec and stuff like that, won 7 contests. And then I had to get out of Edinburgh. You know, old Alec was great with me. That's the natural progression of path. When you turn from an amateur to a professional, you went with Alec Morrison or Tommy Gilmore. I went with Alec and I basically used it to get myself over to America, yeah. So what I done was I signed a promotional deal. I arranged my own deal with a company called USC, United Sports Corporation. And I basically got them to pay for me to go and live in America. So I went and travelled. I got out of Edinburgh. That was what I wanted to do. It wasn't even about boxing. I can honestly say to you, James, and I can be a hand on heart, I didn't love boxing, Paul. I didn't love the professional game.
Wasn't your passion?
I saw it as just a vehicle for me to, and I'm not making excuses because, let's be clear, I wasn't good enough as a pro. Whether that was because I never put the work in or whatever it was, I wasn't good enough. That was it, all right? So, and I'm actually happy at that because at least I've got my faculties about me, stuff like that, and I'm not getting raped off some manager or promoter somewhere, you know me? Well, I'm in there getting my face punched in. But we'll come to that in a second. I went to America and I travelled New York, Miami, Detroit, Vegas, went to all the gymnasiums in America on a 3-month trip, and eventually I've ended up staying in Los Angeles with Freddie Roach, who's the world-renowned trainer.
Is that how you were?
I was with Angelo Dundee down in Miami for a couple of months with my pal. But I got USC to fund it and pay for me. There's a gentleman that made a big success. I thank him, Angus Morrison. He made a huge success of a company with my help because I was a young boy at 14. It's karma, James, isn't it? 14-year-old, I was telling him what tracksuits to buy and what training shoes to buy. And he was putting them in and they were making fortunes of them. So 15 years later, 10 years later, I beat him with the guy again and he becomes my manager sponsor. Sent me to America, lived over there for like a year and a half. Did the boxing, I had 1 contest. So I was using that relationship that I had with somebody in the past and boxing as a vehicle to escape myself, James. And I realise that now. So I got over to America and I stayed there with Freddie Roach. Trained with Angelo Dundee in Miami, went to Detroit gym as well. And then basically set myself in America, got a nice apartment over there and they subsidised me and funded me. I eventually did have a contest over there, which I have to tell you about. And so I was now basically 9-0 as a pro, yeah. And I boxed a guy called Jesus, yeah. And I find it quite remarkable that I knocked Jesus down twice, but he kept getting back up again, yeah. And actually, Jesus, and it was just a brawl, mate. And I mean, I don't know what went on, mate. It was just a pure brawl. I got 2 public warnings. He got a public warning. He was doing twice, but I lost. Jesus got the decision, yeah. So I'm always quite keen to tell people that, yeah, I was a professional. I only lost once to Jesus.
That's a good one, isn't it?
So came back from there. When I came back and lived in Edinburgh, pal, that was where I sort of went what we call under the covers. I was lost, James. Anybody that knows me back then will know I was a very private person.
What age were you in, Brad?
I was 25 years old.
I know other people always try to get away. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener because the demons were battling up here, doesn't matter where we go.
I wasn't so much demons, James. I never had mental health problems. I was just, I had this ideology that, and it goes back in the way that my mindset was in as the police in Edinburgh, and I've not touched on that. They planted ammunition on my car, James, you know, when I was a young boy, and tried to get me done with that, which I never got done with, but they've done that. So I felt that if I was in Edinburgh, I was always a target.
So you're always
and I just thought it was good sense to escape Edinburgh and not have to deal with any problems that might have arisen through, because it was just like, things can happen, you know.
In case you get stitched up and you're doing a big sentence for your life.
I just felt that was the way into, and also I wanted to get away and focus on my boxing, but I realised I didn't love boxing, so I was just chasing my tail, pal, you know. Came back to Edinburgh, I came back up here and I've done, James, what's called is gone under the covers, all right? And I went under the covers for about 6 years, mate. And I just cut myself for everything, pal. Even stopped kind of was the training sporadically. I had 2 contests back here with a good man in Glasgow called Tommy Gilmore, yeah. But let's face it, my heart wasn't in it and I wasn't good enough. I wasn't like a Josh Taylor who are everything's right for them, and just as a young amateur boxer, I was very good, and something probably could have been done with it. But I'm happy and content with myself that, you know, how things arrive and how they land. I didn't have any misgivings with that, James.
But I know you say we talk about channels and energies. Do you think if you focused instead of the 30% into Hibs or boxing or
When I was a young boy,
if you focused 100%,
but then I wouldn't have been there at the. But with other people, because they go into prison and because of, you know, dealing with what I was dealing with and coming back here, I'd been feeling frustrated when I was here because it seemed like I couldn't move. You know what I mean? I was
suffocating.
But that's why I went to America, and it was good that I done that. I went to America and I got away from it and sorted myself out. When I came back, it was like I wasn't sorted out, and I spent 6 years without a lie in my bed reading books.
What did you do that 6 years? Read?
Just read and just kept my income there. I've got good friends and I thought it was great. I didn't have money, James. I've never chased money, James. I'm not. People in Edinburgh have got this opinion. I think I've got money. I didn't earn money, mate. I've always thought it's a root of evil, pal. You know what I mean? I drive a fucking Fiat Panda. I'm not a Machiavellian character that is involved. And how I can explain that, and I know that people get that now, is that even like Loaning and Boulder's Greatest, and even like Council, they give me the keys to, like, I do huge events. I do like Prince Street Gardens, I show. I'm not kind of criminality, something that for that day in prison, that I decided that this is not for me. There's nothing that you can do to earn money that would justify the ending up here. It doesn't matter. I'd rather be with my people. Couldn't buy my wee mum. Couldn't buy my town with my brother, my family, my nephews. I'm 2 wee nephews, you know. So for that day, I turned away from that point. Since then, and that, James, that is now for 6 years. After coming at the other end of 6 years, I basically put my head under the covers from the age of 25 to 30 or something like that, mate. And that broke down relationships with people and stuff like that. You know, it was like, wasn't like I was dating, like I was dating nothing, James. Nothing. Doing absolutely nothing. And then when I hit 30, I just met a beautiful woman, my fiancée, yeah. And then it was the Holocaust that I started clicking back in again, and I just knew that my saviour again would be boxing. So I got involved, and so after my 30th birthday, and I would change sort of environment again, in the sense, got a new flat, stuff like that. Just put, there wasn't drugs involved, there wasn't the thing. I've been out partying and drinking and stuff like that.
Because you never used to drink?
Mate, never used to drink. I never touched alcohol until I was 27 years old. Never been a big, never been a big supporter of anybody that takes drugs and stuff like that. Yes, I've had the occasional wee dabble with stuff like that. Who's no, as a young guy growing up when I was doing that thing with it. There's never been any problems in my life with mental health or drugs or anything like that. It was just literally that I decided to cut out and just spent a lot of time with myself, mate, you know.
And worked on yourself?
Aye, and it just like, and then I opened up Hollywood Boxing Gymnasium, and this is where things started, and this is 13 years ago, yeah.
Because I know we speak about the boxing, and like I say, a lot of boys who you know as if they'll no make it, but are kind of getting used in the boxing industry for...
You want to touch on that?
Aye, mate, to put asses on seats, aye.
I opened an amateur boxing gym simply to give kids the opportunity to use physical fitness and boxing training and its tenets to actually better themselves. So I opened up it in a marginalised area called Craig Miller out in the south of Edinburgh, yeah. So that was like 13 years ago. Me and a chap, Bradley Welsh, opened up together. And it wasn't even about finding boxers, because I saw the professional. It wasn't me because I wasn't good enough. It was just I saw the way that the professional game was run. That's loaded. You got young kids who have got dreams and aspirations. They turn professional to go and win world titles. But really, they've got managers and promoters who they fuck all for them. Absolutely nothing for them. So it's down to the individual, and that's what I felt like. I mean, whether it's right or wrong, again, they faulted the two managers promoters. I wasn't good enough, but you know, back then there was no like training camps, and there was no like they put anything into you, yeah. And it's the same now. Young kids now turning professional. Unless you've got real smarts in your hands, you're going to end up just a ticket seller for people. I believe that, and I see it in Edinburgh and I see it in Glasgow. Now you've got young kids turning. The natural pathway, James, used to be that you served your apprenticeship. There's a magic number in boxing. It's 10. To win a Scottish title, 10 years training, 4 times a week. You'll win a Scottish title. That's the number that pervades through it. Then you've got 10,000 hours, which to be an outlier, you'll be the best ever. You'll win a world title if you can put that many hours. That'll take you 20 years to get that. 17 years or 16 years. You know, that's the magic number with that. But you've now got young kids turning professional because they're getting offered these ticket deals and they've not even won a Scottish title. The only young kids, if they want to turn professional and go and be professional, get an experience and get a lifetime experience in amateur boxing and travel the world. Because these are the guys that are winning stuff now. Josh Taylor, Lee McGregor, international superstars, winning Britishes, going down to GBs, turning pro, they make it. Young kids, I'm not saying that a kid can't make it, because you've got desire and you've got...
Well, of course, passion.
Yes, you've got passion, you're going to do it. You know, there's a lot of good camps in Glasgow now and stuff like that, and there is a lot of good boxers coming for that. But it's just that I see that they're turning pro too early, mate. And let's be clear here, the professional boxing industry bastardises the amateur industry. The amateur industry is about young kids in gymnasiums giving their all with wee trainers. Then what happens is they go to turn pro and they jump over. So it's just like these are just nursery grounds for our business. And even these professionals using amateur gyms, it's wrong.
And they're getting serious.
It's not going to be popular me saying that with anybody that knows boxing, but it's no fucking right.
But it's the truth, but they're going to get seriously injured then as well.
And there's young kids turning pro now with not even winning Scottish titles, like 10, 12, 14 bouts, stuff like that. Not even win a Scottish or beat a British or like that. And it's a very hard thing to do. I'm not saying didn't do that, because if you're a young guy out there, you're watching this and you're going to do that, you go with what you believe is right. You know what I mean? I'm just saying from what I'm seeing overall. So back to Hollywood boxing, I opened up that 13 years ago, and I used to open it as a gymnasium, not a boxing club. So I started to engage in the community, and it just went, mate, it's went huge. I mean, it's the busiest gym in Edinburgh by far. But again, our tenants on this gym, it's not important that kids realise their dreams. It's important that they can dream. You know what I mean? And that's it. So for 13 years, we've been there, amateur club, done all the stuff, trained champions, all that. But then I got involved in the event structure as well, because I've got a wee flair for doing that kind of thing. So I took Hollywood Box Gymnasium and along with Boxing Scotland to a great organisation. I've got about 120 clubs up and down the country. These are clubs and communities that are offering young kids, you know, the opportunity to participate and take part in events and live their dream. If your kid wants to be a boxer, they're going to do it. Yeah, it's about creating the platform for them. That's all.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I've done. So that for that gym there, we've done. But what's quite unique, what we done is we then went on to sort of like huge events, and we gave young kids from the areas the opportunities to participate in very large scale operation boxing. I mean, like huge stuff, big stuff in Europe. So for the last 5 years, we sold at Usher Hall, which is 2,700 people.
Is that place, the video you showed us? That's a phenomenal place, isn't there?
Better than that, we've done 5 years ago, just before, 6 years ago, before my mum passed away. My mum passed away 5 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
So,
what was her name?
Patricia.
Patricia, shout out to Patricia.
So she, before that, we've done a huge big event along with the guy who runs Boxing Scotland, a guy called Richard Thomas, who's basically took the sport and dragged it to the scuff of the neck up to the year 2015 at the time, yeah, 13, sorry. And we done Prince Street Gardens, and we sold it there about 3,500 people. So I put in my promotional came on, because I was a club promoter. I never mentioned that earlier. I'd done all the clubs events, stuff like that, and went out to promote, went out to get out there and
Where did you learn all that, Brad? Because your mind's sharp. Like I say, before we started, we were talking, and the things, the ideas you've got for the future and the things you set up, it's run smooth, and it's not just small scale events. It's
hard work you need to put in, pal. If anybody, it's all about hard work.
But where did that come from, the organisation skills?
Well, I didn't organise Scotland's biggest gang, pal. So,
well, there you go then. There you go, there's your answer. But then but to do that at such a young age, you must have had that, like I say, you're very sharp.
Yes, I've always been, people have always called me a hyperactive child, and I still am, and to this day I'm still 1,000 miles an hour, yeah? That's what I do, yeah? It's like I work today, like today I'm 16 hour day, mate. You know what I mean? It's what I do. And again, back to that, that's probably because I said that to you earlier. I spent 6 years in my bed, mate. I've never done a job, James. I didn't work, mate. I've always done things for myself. And chasing financial orientation's never been my thing. I'm scared to do that. If I went into stuff like that, I'm bankrupt anyway, I'll come to that just now. So we putting on these large scale events, it created opportunities, and I had a vision for it, yeah. So went to Prince Street Gardens, done that, and then it just was 6 years down the line. So then that's been quite transformational for me, pal, because as I was doing that and stuff, it was very good to do, and I enjoyed doing stuff
rewarding.
Like that. It was rewarding because you're putting on huge events and you're entertaining people, and it's good. The money that came out of it, I then opened up other gyms. So what I've done was, when the money came, I set up a registered charity called ABA Limited, along with two very, very good friends who are big businessmen in Edinburgh. They put in there, so they've started to guide me a little bit, yeah. And we opened up a registered charity to engage with people, to basically engage with kids and create opportunities. So we opened up 10 or 12 boxing gyms in the country. And a partner in Glasgow actually at the time, a guy called Sam Kinnock, who does...
Sam,
Sam,
AMG, is it AMG?
Kinnock Promotions.
MGM.
So we were doing really well. We opened up an alternative amateur association against and Paralympic Boxing Scotland. But Sam went and got the hook in his mouth for the guys for MTK. He got offered a professional deal and wanted to go into professional boxing, which I've already said didn't meet my remit to what I want to do, yeah. If people wanted to do that, great. So Sam fucked off and went with MTK, and I just stayed doing what I was doing, which was engaging with kids and creating opportunities for them. So, and that's where I've been. So, but transformationally wise, after we've done the big events, over the last 4 years, just after like we've done still doing the Usher Halls, and then got involved in sort of charity stuff for some reason, I don't know why, yeah. So I've been 4 years now creating our own stuff. Registered charities, pal, and what we're doing is ours is a small charity. It's all volunteer. Not one person takes any money for it, period. That's a charity.
Which is brilliant, because we know all these big charities can take...
That's right. And what we've done was opened up boxing gymnasiums and communities for kids to train in. So we've done about four of them in Edinburgh, we've done about 12 up in the country, and that was the vision to do that, to engage with kids. Not that we find boxers. A boxing gymnasium should be about for everybody, for the whole community going. And I think most of them are, in general, except a lot of them are still running the geared towards the trainers want to find the big enough diamond that they can polish up.
Make money for it.
Exactly. And so I'm sort of against them. If that's what people want to do, that's fine. I suppose that's how you create world champions, eh? Yeah?
Aye.
So we went to, from there we were going from strength to strength, and I got involved in food banks and stuff. They've got a good partner in Edinburgh called Jim Slavin, and the two of us decided that there was an opportunity to open up and engage more directly, not just through boxing, but through other things, football and stuff. So we formed, the two of us co-founded an organisation called Helping Hands. That's about 4 years
Which is amazing. You sent me the Facebook link and the stuff that you're doing on that with the young boys.
So Helping Hands operates under the Register Charity. It's an initiative for that. And what that is, it's an all-volunteer group which is set up to engage with local communities, pal. Right? Marginalised.
And how can people else get involved? What's the social media for that as well, for Facebook and stuff?
Just check it out. It's called Helping Hands Edinburgh. And what it is, over the last 4 years, we've collectively organised the biggest food banks in Edinburgh. We do like 30-ton collections just to rival the Celtic ones. So we saw that by getting working class people to look out and donate to their own communities. That's the thing. So we've done that for about 3 years and we're hugely successful. We then moved into doing initiatives, sport initiatives where we provided free football training. But your man Andy McLaren and stuff like that.
Andy's brilliant.
Guided us. He's doing very similar work in Glasgow.
Aye.
So we looked at his model and stuff as we were doing it. We took some bits from that. But again, it wasn't to find football players. What we actually done was very unique, and we actually got professional football players in, like Paul Kane, Mickey Weir, Alan McLaren and stuff like that. And we got them to come in and give structured coaching for free. So we went into the communities, reclaimed the local parks, cleared all the dog shit off them, put signs and stuff like that, talked to the people in the area. This is your park, it's where you are, because there's services there. The community centres can't get in it because you need money to get in it. And if you want to play football, you've got to play the subs. So there's a whole wealthy talent out there and young kids that are being marginalised and alienated for access and free football. You know, I know it's Alan, and he's been harking on it about through there, and his operation's huge. So what we done was our first year, which is 3 years ago, we went into the communities with 6 of them and gave free football coaching. We done this on about 4,000 kids.
That's brilliant.
We done it for 12 weeks, and then at the end we done a festival of football in Edinburgh. So we took all the kids from all the communities in Edinburgh and we brought them into the city centre, and there was like 600 kids there. And we had Scott Brown there, we had Lee Griffiths, we had Kenny Miller, we had John McGinn, we had all the Hibs team, Hearts team, stuff like that, coming in to inspire the kids, to say to them, you belong here. So we've always, through the boxing gymnasium, that's what I've always been. I run that boxing gym because it gives something to kids. And it gives something, not just to kids, but we touch on this earlier, to adults as well. If you're in a gym, whether it's a boxing gym or a karate gym or whether you're at the gym, training, physical exercise as a human being will stimulate you.
Of course.
It'll clear you up, it'll sort your toxins in your
Fights
body.
depression,
and it fights depression. And that's, I didn't shout about that, but a lot of people that do come to the gym and stuff like that do that are people that are needing some of that in their life. And I'm there to inspire
and
them
that's
to do
what
that.
you're providing. Like I say, when you are exercising, whether it's boxing, football, it releases serotonin, endorphins, dopamine. This is the stuff that fights depression. This is the stuff that makes you feel good, but it only lasts for a few hours and then it goes away. It has a dip again. So this is why
your body starts craving it.
I know, because it's not, but it's the natural buzzies. So when somebody gets that buzz, that's why a lot of people turn to drinking drugs, because it gives them that buzz where they feel important. But all the stuff you're doing for the kids, mate, I take my hat off to you, because, like I say, the life you've came through and what you've done, it's led you to the path you're now. And this isn't just 1 or 2 boys. This is hundreds and thousands of people are coming through yours to do what you're doing.
Well, the gyms do that, and it's great that. So, and then for the last 3 years, I've been entrenched in this, putting on initiatives for kids. This year we went into, really remarkably this year, along with Boxing Scotland, Social Bite, and we went into Irvin Welsh, who are inspired to get behind us and put a bit of money into it, Quite hard to get money to Irvin, by the way. So we went into Edinburgh, and what I've done was an idea to take Holyrood and to create Holyrood and all the areas in Edinburgh that don't have boxing gyms. Because I believe that a boxing gym is a place that should be community-led, and it's a space for people to go to. It doesn't matter whether they can box. It's about the physical side and the mental side and applying yourself, as was touched on there. So I went and this year opened up 12 boxing gyms in Edinburgh. So I opened up a boxing gym in the communities in Muirwood, Spalton.
Is that the deprived areas?
I know.
They're
marginalised in the sense that, the kind of people that live there are on the economics, at the bottom half, And it's like there's not a lot for kids to do, that's it. So I picked the areas, and I picked 12 of them. It was a huge project. And I went round and I took a boxing gym to all these community centres. So for 6 weeks, we engaged with like 6,000 kids. Yeah, with
It's
boxing.
phenomenal numbers.
And that was Helping Hands that done that. So we went there and also had free, along with the Scottish Government, at one point we were giving kids access to free food and water and stuff like that, all the sessions as well, fruit.
That's brilliant.
So-
Are you getting any backing for anybody, Brad?
No, I believe that it's, even though we've got a registered charity, which is Oscar led,
How can people, what's the charities?
we didn't want anything. See, this is the
No,
thing.
no, but for people to take a look and
Well, just Edinburgh Helping Hands, that's it. And the other one's ABA Limited, which is its parent, yeah. It's like, I didn't believe it's the way with charities, Paul, that you should be asking the public for anything, mate. Which brings us nicely to this, yeah. So for the last 4 years, just to summarise again, I've been sort of embroiled and entrenched in this poverty industry. And this year, James, I've turned away from that, mate, yeah. Turned away from that because myself and our co-founder and our steering group, we realised that what we were doing was, even though we're doing good with food banks and we're doing good quite this year as well, I helped Social Bite, as you know. Yeah.
aye, Josh Little,
Aye.
shout out to him for doing big things.
Yeah, so we done that as well. But it became aware to us that we're just like them. How does the general public, when they see me organising a food bank, differentiate between me and these people that are businesses living off poverty outside supermarkets, asking you to buy for the supermarket to donate? Supermarkets fucking love it. Buy our food, but give it to them. It's like these big organised charity businesses, Paul, it was hard for the public to recognise what we were doing is different from what they were doing, because none of us take money, we're not a business, and we're trying to help our people in our community that need it. Yes? These businesses that are set up, all of them, charities in general, there's two types of charity. When it's a charity, there's somebody out there on the front line doing good. It's a small operation, probably going to get any funding, and they need a wee bit of help, yeah, in the community. And there's other ones who are conglomerate businesses, yes, who are billionaire companies that are set up with the sole purpose to beg the public for their money so they can ascertain what they do with it. And in the meantime, take £500,000 running costs for it. So, we decided as Helping Hands it was time for us to get out of the poverty industry. So this year, in our 5th year, we didn't do the food bank at Easter Road, which collects 30 tonne. And the reason why that is food banks, people have got to understand, yes, there's a need for them, but the Trust and all these other companies are set up hand in hand with Oscar registration as a charity with the government stemming, because if you've got the public donating to that, then the government didn't have to do it. It's a systemic problem. People being hungry, yes. All these people have fell through the cracks the same way homelessness or the same way anything like that, yeah. And it's like systemic problems need solved by the government. It's wrong and immoral that it should be solved by the public. You've been fooled. You pay your tax, and now you're getting asked to donate to a heart foundation, cancer research. Just anybody that's going to give money to any of these companies, have a look at where your money's going to. And don't drop it in a bag. Take control and ownership of what you're doing and give it to the frontline services. Don't give it to these big bastard business companies that have got £500,000 companies or CEO, £500,000 running cost, £500,000 running costs, and CEOs on 700 grand and stuff like that. And that's the thing that the hook is that they think you're stupid. They think you'll not look at that and see that you're just paying all their wages. Now again, just to clarify, there is good charities out there. There's many good charities out there doing good work. But it's wrong to have companies set up solely to just ask the public for money. Because you've already paid your tax. The government are hand in hand with these people. While you keep paying for it, the government will not pay for it. And there's a big message in that.
a big companies.
So, which leads us nicely to that after doing, James, the getting out of the food stuff, we've also decided, like this year alone, James, the Helping Hands, we were involved in a bike initiative where we organised along with our partners like 300 bikes to the kids in the community so they get up and get fit and healthy on it. We organised some food distribution, which we didn't want to do, but we had to because from the success of last year, we still had people wanting to come and give us food. But we've made it clear now that we're not involved in that. Hibernian Football Club, who we worked in partnership with, they've been made aware of that, and it's down to them to take ownership of what they're doing and decide to that. The thing about food, when you donate food, I was being disingenuous, yeah, because my experiences in the food bank with my partner Jim, is that we were giving the food to these food banks, and all they were doing at Christmas time, which is when most people will donate. So we were going out there and getting 30 tonne of food given to us. But that food, James, was going on the big truck and getting stored up on a big pallet. And the people at Christmas time and New Year weren't even getting that food.
How?
Because you need a ticket, James. You need a ticket. You've got to be referred to a food bank, mate.
What?
You've got to be referred to a food bank. So
if you're starving and fucking potentially dying, you need a ticket to go and get food.
If you've got two wee bairns who are starving in the house as well, you're not going to go to the social worker and say, I can't feed my bairns. Because now you've got social work involvement. So there's a whole They were people that have got jobs, pal. They can't feed themselves.
Two jobs, aye.
Exactly.
When I was doing the soup kitchens and the food bank, the soup kitchens in the town when I was doing my documentary, there's people that were in the soup kitchens that had 2 jobs that were struggling to pay their rent, couldn't afford food.
So you've got, and the government's got a stranglehold on that because you have to be referred. You have to have a doctor or a professional that's like in social work or something like that that's going to refer you to it. Yeah. Now a lot of people didn't want to engage in the people because they didn't want them involved in their life because they could lose their kids or lose their family, or you've got an abusive husband or what's the situation going on or an abusive wife.
Aye.
Just keep that politically correct.
Aye, well,
so what happens with food? We were given over 30 to review, but that wasn't getting out to review, and then we found out that this is along with the organisation we were dealing with, but you need a ticket to go there. And when you went there, James, you got a bag of food that looked like that. Yeah, it's what was feed. So what we done last year is myself and the other members of the steering group of parents, we divided up the food that we collected and we took it to the frontline services. We took it to the community centres. Yeah, so we gave half, it was 27 tonne of it, mate. We split up, got the vans, I organised all that stuff along with my partner Jim, yeah, and we distributed it to all the community centres, which are frontline, who are working with frontline people who are dealing with it. And
the real heroes in my eyes.
Well, you know, the thing is, it's a bit of a thing like that, but it's something that you have to accept. And the front lines right now are community centres, which are council run, unfortunately, right? But the people in there are doing a lot of good, but they are the front line, because if they weren't there, they'd be fuck all there.
Dead bodies everywhere as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we done that last year. We just decided this year that by us doing the food bank, and it became so successful in the sense of the amount of food that we collected, which is never enough, but we were just the same as them. These people standing outside supermarkets saying, it's a con, money. It's like, charity's got to, James, it's been 40 years in the making, mate. Charity businesses are only 40 years in the making. Since when did we need fucking billionaire companies to set themselves up in the middle, to beg us for money, to give to them so that they can decide what to do? Just bypass them and give it directly. You want to help somebody, go to your local community centre and ask them what they need. Yeah? Give it to people directly. Give it to your neighbour. Where's this community aspect where we don't even fucking talk to our neighbours? Do you know what I mean? It's a breakdown in society in that way. There is a better way, Paul. The better way is to cut out the big businesses, which leads us to where I am now, James, yeah? For this year, I mean, that's just 6 months. I've done a bike initiative, done some food stuff like that there, back into the box stuff like that there. I mean, we've got projects lined up for next year we're going to do, which again is all going to be about engaging with kids. This year we're going to roll out free football, boxing, judo, biking, rock climbing and athletics. All right?
Unbelievable.
So we're going to roll that out and give opportunities to all the kids in Edinburgh to take part in that for free. Yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing.
How can people get involved and try and help you out?
Again, back to that, we didn't want to ask the public. What I'll do is we'll go to businesses that would perhaps in the past, until I've spoke to them, would just be writing cheques and dropping them into big charities. When you're dropping that money into big charities,
so that money into somebody's pocket.
Well, firstly it goes into somebody's pocket. And again, just to be clear, there might be people here that are working for a charity. Yes, you do a good job, it's great. But there's too many out there, pal. We see now, you know, we've been speaking about it for a number of years, but this year I took a bit of action on it, pal. This year, which leads to where I am now. So we're still doing the Helping Hands initiatives. I will still continue to do the box stuff. I've got big plans for the box this year, along with Boxing Scotland, to put on large-scale events and to create opportunities for kids to participate in boxing. Yeah. But I'll be doing this separate initiative with Helping Hands to do football, boxing, judo. And what we're going to do is bus these kids into all these different places. So we've got a transport network. He doesn't know that he's doing it yet, so I'll not mention him. But we've got, and we're going to taxi these kids in so that they can have different nights in each place and create opportunities for our marginalised kids in the areas of Edinburgh who get fuck all. And they get nothing because just this is life. Eh? They've got parents that may be working who can't make ends meet. How are they going to give their kid 4 or 5 quid or 6 quid or pay the dues to go to a football thing? They can't do it. So that's where I am. This is where I am now. This is where Rebrands ended up. After everything in the past and whatever it is, and people want to have a shit and go to crack on, you know, but it doesn't affect me.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'll stay on the line, Paul.
For anybody to try and tarnish your name or reputation, no matter what the fuck you've done 10, 20 years ago.
20 years ago, 25 years ago.
It's embarrassing if you ask me, because what you're doing is, with the Waynes, I don't see anybody else making these moves. These aren't just 1 or 2 kids, these are thousands of people. Also with the food banks, like I say, when you talk there, you can see your passion, you can feel it, because you know the system we've got is fucking wrong, let's face it, it's flawed, it's all bullshit. And for anybody listening, watching, like I say, get into this Facebook page, the things they're doing is phenomenal. Get as much help. I know you don't want help, but other people can get involved and other people can realise it's genuine how you want to help other people in life.
In my Helping Hands, that's all you need to do is, or anybody needs to do is just look back to your old community and put back in there. And if we create that thing, we'll no need these big companies coming and begging us for money. Which brings me to where I am right now, because I have over the last, I took action over it this year, James. Last year we I basically took, so there's a chap in Glasgow called Andy Smiley, a lot of people will know him, big Andy Smiley, he's got a scaffolding company.
Aye.
Andy last year had a thing called the Emily Smiley Foundation, and he got in touch with me and he had about 20 grand worth of toys. He had he bought all toys last year for a partner of his. And he said, Brad, I've got some toys, can you distribute them in Edinburgh? Because we've done a big toy distribution thing as well. And while doing that, I came across this Cash for Kids people who are in Glasgow, yeah, they're on Radio Clyde, and they're in Edinburgh. And I took the toys up there to them because I had all these wee baby rattles left. And while I was up there, I gave them these toys, and they had a warehouse, I'm saying, full of toys right up to the gunnels, thousands of toys. It was the 19th of December. So they collected all these toys, which was clear to me, yeah, at that time that they were never going to distribute them. So I said to the woman, I've got 4 vans here on the road because I was doing a toy and bike initiative, yeah. We give out thousands of toys and bikes and stuff like that. And we get funders to that. We didn't ask the public for it. It's wrong to ask the public for it. You better find a funder, a businessman who's got maybe a cathartic soul like myself, yeah, to put in and wants to do good. So and there was thousands of toys in it, it just was confusing. So we went and had a wee look. And then later that day, I heard on the radio, this Radio 4th it was, and it's the same as in Glasgow and the same in Aberdeen and all over, yeah. And I heard, we've not got enough baby toys and we've not got enough for 14-year-olds. Can you donate money, £5 and £10? So they're on the radio on the 20th of December asking for money, right up to the 24th of December, but they've got a warehouse full of toys. Right? So it became strange. I was thinking, this is strange. I'd experienced them about the year before with another wee boy, but I'll not get into that just now. So therefore, I looked and I went to their bins. So they have all these collection bins and points. All the bins were overflowing with toys, James. So I thought, they're on the radio asking for money. They've got a warehouse full of toys and they've got collection bins that are unemptied, and it's now the 21st of December. So we monitored them right up to the 25th of December, 24th of December, they were still asking for money. So then later on that year, once that had Christmas had over, we'd done a bit of investigation of them. They're an organisation called Bauer Media. Bauer Media are one of the biggest media companies in Europe. They've got TV channels, they own all the radios, but particularly they own 22 radio stations around the country, James. And they 22 radio stations that they own, yeah, in Edinburgh it's Fourth One, in Glasgow it's Clyde, yeah, then they've got Aberdeen one, stuff like that. And they do a thing called Cash for Kids. So you've got a billionaire company who use their apparatus, yes, which is their radio stations, who set up a charity called Cash for Kids. And they ask for cash. Now, it should be clear to everybody that it's in the fucking name, eh? Cash for Kids. Why not toys for kids? Why not help for kids? And what they do is they use their apparatus to beg the public for money. Now, I got involved with it, so this year, because I'm a little proactive guy, along with a group called the Toy Box Working Group, Helping Hands, and a young boy called Cody McManus, yeah, who had an experience the year before. We sat around collaborating together and having a wee run at them, yeah, to try and educate the public that this is a billionaire company using its apparatus, the radio waves, to beg the public for money. Now, Bauer Media do not put 1 penny into that charity. The charity is solely set up to beg you for money. Now, they then set themselves up and take reflective glory for that as if they've done something. They've not done anything. They've just collected your money. Now, what transpired as well, James, they didn't have any infrastructure. So when they get the toys for the bins, they didn't have 1 van or 1 driver to collect that. What they do is that they make their partners in the place that have them deliver it themselves. And then the toys, as they get collected, they claim to that marginalised kids get them. Yes, they do, marginalised kids do get them. But it needs to be a person that comes and collects the toys. So they've got a system set up with the infrastructure. It doesn't cost anything, but a £500,000 running cost on their staff. That's what it is. So they're taking £3.5 million in Edinburgh, and a £500,000 that goes to them for the apparatus they've already got. And they charge for the radio ads. They're a disingenuous organisation, and I had a year of negotiation with them to try and say, you need to put vans on, because that way, if you've got vans, you'll not have a warehouse full of toys. Simple equation. Warehouse full of toys, yes, no vans, no distribution. All I need to do is get vans in distribution and I can process my applications. It's a disingenuous organisation. It's set up to use kids in poverty to facilitate their own self and to benefit themselves. That's it. Now, I've came out, not just here, James, but I've been publicly told of that in newspapers, and I've also put videos and videography out there calling them for what they are. They're a disingenuous organisation doing that to benefit themselves. They're offsetting their staff costs, yes, which I believe is about £10 million over the whole of the UK. This is not in Edinburgh. This is in Glasgow, this is in Aberdeen, this is in Dundee, this is anywhere they have anywhere they have their branch and franchise, right, which is Cash for Kids. Yes, 80% of the money goes to where it's meant to go because they're audited and stuff like that. They keep shouting that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that you just use the public while you do nothing, use their time and energy, they're volunteering. If you volunteer to them, you're not liking what I'm saying, you're thinking, no, that's wrong, I've done that. Listen to yourself, you done it, no them. They just use us. They think we're all fools, they think we're all second-class citizens, James. That, when is that a good idea that a billionaire company sets up like that and asks the public?
Where do the toys go then?
The toys stay until the next year. And then they give them out during the year. But wait there, the charity regulator clearly says, if I'm saying to you, James, give me that bottle and I'll give it to a kid at Christmas time, yeah? If I leave it in a warehouse, I've not done my job, have I?
So there's Wayne's Without Toys as well?
Thousands of Wayne's Without Toys. Well, the other is a PR company, Paul. Now, I've came out publicly and told them, I'll call them again. You're a bunch of cowards, that's what they are. Because I've tried to get them into a court, James. And why I want them into a court is because then I can rip apart the flimsy, disingenuous model. But they've not done it. What they've done was quite a cute PR campaign to smother. They put a tin hat on it. They didn't want anybody in Aberdeen, anybody in Glasgow questioning what actually happens. They've no infrastructure. You cannot collect £1 million worth of toys, yeah, and money and not have a distribution network. But they can, because they get the idiot public to come and donate their time with their cars and stuff like that to do it. Can they do that? It's wrong. It's morally wrong. They keep saying, we'll go with charity regular, go to Oscar, or go to some. I mean, get fuck, you know what I mean? Then these people are settling.
So you try to take it to court?
Well, they'll not take me to court. I've called them cowards that many times. They'll know there. Now, I know it's quite uncomfortable for a wee guy like me for the streets to actually say to a big conglomerate company like that. The guy lives in Edinburgh, James, right? And basically, I text him, I say to the guy, I'm outside the Fourth One Awards, yeah? It's another money maker for Bauer Media, yeah? Come and see me. He went to the police, James. Went to the police and said he felt threatened. It's a guy called Graham Bryce, yeah? Who's the head, an Edinburgh boy who should have some kind of feeling and emotive content to regards to the communities of Edinburgh. I'm telling you that the toys, yes, do not get to the kids that they should get. Others have got a level, a playing field, where they give it 20,000 to these people at 50 quid each and it meets their numbers, yeah? They are charging £500,000 to do that. I inspire and ask the public to no longer donate to charities like that. Then they give to these big charities. Give directly. You want to help somebody, miss out the middleman. These are basically cash for kids who take your money. They didn't buy any toys with it. They collected over £350,000 last year and they spent £86,000 of that on toys. Now, why are they asking for your money if they didn't spend that money on toys? What they'll tell you is, we give it out during the year. Well, hold on a second. It's Christmas time. It's called Cash for Kids. Christmas and Christmas. Give it out at Christmas. So don't do that, James. But that's it.
So for people to educate themselves on who they're donating to.
Not just Cash for Kids, all charities, guys. You've got to be looking now to see if you want to do. There's too many businesses out there that people are set up that are making money off kids living in fucking poverty, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's not a business, guys.
And it's funny because it's the ones who donate money, it's the ones that give money have not really got much money themselves.
100%. You're coming outside supermarkets and it's like, if you want to help somebody, help your next door neighbour. Get it to them, or go to the local community centre and give it in there. Because that's the focal points where people are gathering and that now. And it is council run, and the council should be doing more as well. But unfortunately, they are there. And if people want to help each other, it's time to get back to that. We start looking left and right, mate. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. Now, the projection for me going forward next year, I'm going into the Toy Box Working Group has just got funding. And it looks like that they're going to run an alternative toy campaign next year. So they're going to put 10 vans on Edinburgh streets. And they've already got 20 schools involved and 10 community centres. And what we're going to do is, because this thing about, like, if you want toys, you have to go and collect them. What that does, James, is it clips it. Because social workers can't use a work vehicle to go and get them. They've got to use their own car, so that's after hours. So all the kids that should be getting the toys aren't getting them. And all Cash for Kids are getting it is just a masterful PR campaign to say, look at our accounts, look at what we do. Well, unfortunately, the accounts fall down because when you collect over £300,000 or £400,000 and you only spend £86,000 yet, you're failing. When you have a warehouse full of toys, you're failing. That's it. You need to put a distribution network on. Now, I offered them to do that and said, you need to put a distribution network on. And all they done, James, is they dug their heels and went, what middle-class millionaires do, right? And they think that this is not going to affect them. Well, it is going to affect them because the Toy Box Work Group this year will put on an alternative to make sure that kids in the communities get toys delivered to them. Not have to go and queue like second-class citizens and sort all themselves, yeah? All right? So, and they're going to do it for free. So they'll put on 10 vans, they've already got a warehouse from it, and they've got funding for a man in Dubai who thinks it's a great idea, yeah, and just doesn't like the way that Bauer Media use their wealth and their size, yeah? I mean, this is a huge billionaire company, mate. And again, they put not one penny in, so your money goes to paying £500,000 worth of wages every year for them to distribute your gifts.
But like I say, if the work you're doing, Brad, is unbelievable, and like I say, you're a leader now amongst the men who's shown how it should be done. 6,000 Waynes, all these thousands of ways that are coming through with the Facebook. What's the sorry? Helping Hands.
Helping Hands,
Helping
Edinburgh.
Hands. Check it out. Edinburgh. They're doing phenomenal things. Again, for coming on today, I appreciate that. But before we go, Train Spotting 2.
Oh, yes.
How did it go?
Well, I've actually been offered another part, a big film, actually. Train Spotting 2 was just an opportunity through Bradley Welsh, a pal of mine, yeah. A pal of a lot of people in Edinburgh. He came up to the gymnasium at the time with Danny Boyle and stuff like that, you know the story. I was originally written in to do with the guy with the pads. Yeah, that's what I do every day, James. Like the day I'll do 200 rounds of pads, yeah. Helping kids and people that come into the gym. And then Danny Boyle just sprung on me. I done a thing called Pads for Charity, you know that? I'm a Guinness World Record holder there. I done a Guinness World Record of tape and done 24 hours of pads, right round. And they came to that. So from that, they offered me an audition for a part and I had to go, and it's not the first time I've been in a forest with somebody, so it's actually not that. As you probably know, I played it wrong. I lost the part. And then I said to Danny Boyle, I done a book launch for Bradley Welsh, and I said to him, I went and done that wrong. Can I come and do it? And he went, I did it, or send me a showreel. So I made up a showreel and I made a wee showreel and sent it.
Train Spotting 2, that's unbelievable. One of the biggest films in Scotland, mate. You should be proud of it.
I'm not sure about when my daughter's got to watch it, about narrative content, you know what I mean? And that was my only concern. I've got my daughter, so I didn't want to glamorise any stuff.
Of course, but
you're playing a character.
Of course, and it's acting.
And they offered me, right at the time, a big agency in London, I won't mention them, they said to me, come down, we'll put you on our books. But all they were ever going to do was cast type me. I was just going to be the big bad Scottish guy, correct?
Of course, but then it doesn't matter. Still had that, like I say, for what you've came through, Brad, to everything you're achieving now, blockbuster film, doing all your stuff for charity, doing all your stuff for the Waynes. I think it's phenomenal, mate, and for coming on today and taking your time and saying what you've got to say, I appreciate it, and I wish you nothing but the best for the future, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Listen, mate, I really appreciate that. Thank you, likewise. Love Hair and Beauty Salon, based in Springburn, offers a full range of hair and beauty treatments from nail enhancements, dermaplaning, lash lifts, henna brows and lashes, right through to the full colour and cut beauty work hair extensions. They also have their resident makeup artist Megan to complete the full package. You can visit them on social media on Instagram, Love Hair and Beauty 09, and Facebook, Love Hair and Beauty Glasgow. You can also make a telephone call to book an appointment at 0141 258 2070. AM Events are specialists in party, wedding and event planning management. They offer services from full event planning and management right down to the standalone venue dressing. AM Events strive for 100% customer satisfaction every time, from email updates and how about the planning is going, managing the day of the event. They will support you the whole way through. So for more information, to make a booking, pop down to their showroom at Unit 2, Foundry Street, Atlas Industrial Estate in Glasgow. Their phone number is 0141 237 3020. So pop along, or else their social media pages are on Facebook, AM Events, and also Instagram at amevents.glasgow. Collins Morgan have assisted thousands of Scottish residents with financial difficulty. So if you are struggling to keep up with the increase in cost living, along with managing debt, then message Collins Morgan on Facebook for free, friendly and regulated advice on the solutions available for you.